Morning, everyone, and welcome to Your Forever Home this Friday. It's a bit of an exciting week, actually, and I've got some lovely tips to share with you this week. And it's really come off the back of having quite a few meetings this week with clients with regards to their joinery. But what do you think of my new glasses? I thought, oh, I'm sick of going tortoiseshell. I'm sick of going black and brown and being the conservative self that I've been for years and years and years. This is the lass who used to wear, country road suits to university. And as I get older, I think life's too short to be bland. And so I'm injecting more and more colour. Okay, I'm quite earthy here because they're just my colours anyway. But I'm quite liking my green glasses, although my husband's not too keen. Anyway, that's by the by. One of my daughters went back to school this week, so that's been quite interesting now, thinking about going to do school drop off and pick up, and I'm just used to everyone being at home, and they sort of finish school and off they go and get their afternoon tea and so forth. Now, as always, I'm doing this live on Instagram and on Facebook, so hence why my eyes are going up and down as I try to give eye contact to all my listeners across all the platforms. Now, today, I wanted to chat to you about joinery drawings. And joinery drawings and internal elevations are when you're actually seeing the detail of, for example, your kitchen come together. So you have your floor plan, and that's an aerial view of the layout of your kitchen, and we get heavily involved in that to make sure that it's going to flow, that the objectives of the users of that kitchen are going to work. Hi, Alan. Thanks for joining. Good to have you back after all your questions last week. That was awesome. And but when you do your internal elevations, it actually allows you to have a look at it front on. So you're actually looking at it as you would if you're in that space. So it's a completely different perspective, and they're called internal elevations. And that's where you'll also get the detail of your joinery. So all the cabinetry that's going to go into your bathrooms, maybe your lounge room, a study, your wardrobes, and most importantly is your kitchen. And I find that is, the room that's got to work as hard for you as it can. Now, we've been liaising with quite a few clients this week. Actually, we're just at a stage with a few clients where we are now getting into their internal elevations, which is, a service that we provide our clients. And it's led me to want to talk today about the importance of, one, getting internal elevations done. I've had so many clients feel that they're going to save a lot of money by just having their floor plans, and they envisage just being on site, liaising with the cabinet maker, and everything will come together. Now, there is massive risk in not only blowing your budget, but also really not getting what you want. Hi, Fabi, thanks for joining. So one of the issues that I see with that methodology of, okay, let's save whatever it is, a few $1,000s or whatever it might be, and not have those drawings. Now, one, your builder cannot read your mind. He's got no idea where you're going to have drawers, how deep are the drawers, you're going to have cupboards. What is the detail of all the cabinetry that you're going to have? And I'm just going to focus on the kitchen here for today. So not only is your builder going to be able to read your mind, but you're not going to be able to quote. He's not going to be able to quote accurately on what you want. Are you going to have handles? You're having finger pull? So many details that are missed if you do not have your internal elevations. Sometimes called working drawings, because then it all takes in your electrical plan and so forth. So that's one issue that I see. But sometimes we're working with clients who decide that, they've got their working drawings, but they're not really going to get into much detail, or they get them done too late. And too late is when your windows have been ordered and all that sort of stuff has been finalised. And so this week we've been talking to two clients in particular where we've been involved early on in their project. We've been right there from floor plan stage, and now we are doing the joinery internal elevations for them. And because we're not at the stage where it's gone out to the builders yet, we've been able to adapt, and we get into the detail. So you look at things from a floor plan stage, and then because we're getting into the detail of their joinery, and we ask lots of questions to make sure, I call it a kitchen deep dive, that we really understand how that space is going to work. What sort of things are you going to store? Hi, Bern. And so we actually look in detail about how that space, the kitchen, has to work. What's the flow going to be? What sort of, how do you entertain? How do you cook? Where do you envisage you're going to prepare your coffee and your tea station and all those sorts of things? So when you start getting into the nitty gritty, sometimes the impact of that means that we might need to move a window. Perhaps there isn't enough space for the cabinetry that we need to be able to make that space work for you, because the window's in the wrong location, or it's too big, or maybe we want to extend the window. So 2 cases this week, we've actually had an instance where getting involved so early has meant that, one, we've actually moved a window, we've eliminated a window, which is obviously a cost saving for the client because glazing is expensive. Because when we really analysed how that space was going to work, we realised that there was actually too many windows in that space. In another instance, we had a window really up high, I should say. God, excuse my English this morning. And so what that meant was we couldn't get the cabinetry in there the way that the client wanted it, and the way that we felt it was going to look and work really well for them. And so when this is left until you're at build stage, it's too late to make these sorts of changes. I see and hear so many clients, and particularly on a lot of the forums that I follow, that the builder's there and they have this idea that they're going to liaise with the cabinet maker on site, with the builder, and we're going to nut it all out then. The detail. So they may have the working drawings there, but they've sort of just been there for the sake of it, rather than really getting into the nitty gritty at that stage. And so what you're finding then is that you and the cabinet maker are actually designing around what's there, rather than designing for what you need. So, the window's there. That's a bit of a nuisance because we really wanted to have cupboards there. Or, I really wanted the splashback to be able to, that window splashback to be able to extend into the pantry. It's a bit late now. So, you go to so much time, money, and effort to create a, this forever home that you're building and creating. And so I find it so disappointing for my clients that they've engaged us too late, and then we can't make those changes. So I suppose my message for you today is, please don't embark on such a big project that is going to cost you, a lot of money, and then compromise on thinking that you're going to get the best result by not having your internal elevations and your joinery, because there is going to be something missed. You're not going to get an accurate quote, which means you'll have budget blowouts. There's ways that we can save money, for example, getting the glazing correct. And then also that you're sort of making a square peg fit into a round hole just because it's already there, and you now just have to work with what you've got. Particularly when you are renovating and you're pulling the back of the house off and you've really got a clean slate, i.e. you're not working with existing windows, it's such an ideal opportunity to just have things exactly how you want them to be. So don't underestimate the value of having your joinery drawings, your internal elevations, because it really allows you to think and really analyse how you want things to work for you. It allows you to visualize, that means we're going to have a cupboard there, and I need my drawers here, and hang on, when I cook, I need to be able to turn and do this because I put all my pots here. So you can't really do that on a floor plan to the same extent as what you can with the joinery drawings. I mean, we go into so much detail that we're talking about, how are the kids going to prep their breakfast, but hang on, what about when they're teenagers, and where are all the pots going to go? Are the drawers deep enough? Where are all your plastic containers going to go? Do you do a lot of baking? Do we want those baking trays to be stored vertically? Do we want them to be flat? What about your platters? All those sorts of things are analysed in detail at this sort of stage, and you really miss out on that if you think that it's going to work out okay when the cabinet maker's there on the building site and you're feeling rushed. You just don't have the analytical space in your mind to really work out what that's going to be. There's going to be pressure if you're doing that on site, and every day you're waiting, you're actually delaying the build. So get it done early, and please don't underestimate the value and where you can save. Twice, actually 3 times this week, we have adapted windows with our clients, and it's actually brought the window budget down. So it means that they were spending less on their windows because we were taking out windows that were not going to work for them and that were completely unnecessary in their spaces, because we fully analysed the space planning and all the joinery. So, thank you for joining Tribe. How lovely. And Michelle. So, have we got any questions? Hi, Fabielle. Hi, Virginia. Are there any questions today around joinery or anything else you may have? What do you think of my green glasses? Let me know. A bit too out there. I think I'm going to go. I did try on some hot pink ones, and I thought they might be just a bit too loud. I probably need to do step by step. I don't think they're too loud. My husband thinks they're far too loud. So any questions this week? Alan, you had lots of questions last week, so by all means, ask away. I was actually on a call, just while you think of a question, I was actually on a call last night with regard, again, around windows. I should do a whole session around windows. It's a very passion project of mine. And that was working out the exact type of windows that were going to work with the window treatments that the client had in mind. We went through every single window and every single space. They haven't even done their joinery drawings yet. This is how early on we've done this. Because they wanted tilt and turn windows, which are out of Europe, and I've lived with those and they're absolutely fantastic, but they can be limiting in terms of the window treatments that you're going to use on that space. It determines how high are the windows. And so because, again, we're doing this at floor plan stage, we're able to make sure that the windows are going to be at the right height, that they can have the window treatment that they want. We've made sure that we've got recessed pelmets in where we need them, so that they can make sure that they can get the window treatments that they want in terms of the windows that they really would love to have. And so we changed some of those windows. We made some of them fixed because we didn't feel that they needed to be fixed in those particular spaces. Fixed glazing is always more cost effective than any sort of openable window. So again, that exercise allowed them for the second time to already save money, because we've done the joinery drawing effect with them in terms of where did we need windows and where didn't we. And so twice over, we have adapted their window schedule, and twice over, it's actually saved them money. So these are the sorts of things that can just work so well for you. Thank you, Michelle. She likes my glasses. I need more votes for my glasses. Bernadette, what do you think? I need more votes. Not that I really care, because I'm going to wear them regardless of what anyone thinks. But, you know, it's just interesting to know, because my husband's so anti them, but it doesn't matter. I love them. Green's my favorite color. And that's why I went for green with my glasses. Maybe next time I'll be brave enough and I'll go hot pink. So anyone got any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm probably going to go and pat my dog. The obsession with my dog is certainly not lost. Every time I'm feeling a bit blah, I go out and pat my dog, and he always makes me feel so happy. So I've been saying to everyone in the family, I cannot believe we've waited all this time to get a dog, because he has just brought so much joy into our lives. And I'm going to sound like... I don't know, people that just always talk about their dogs. So he really feels like my third baby, and he's sort of that sort of size too. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining today. I hope that's helped you. If you've got any questions and you wanted to send me a message, you had a specific thing that you perhaps didn't want to discuss here, that's no problem. Just send me a DM, and I'm more than happy to help you around that. And please, your joinery drawings are just so incredibly important. So have a great weekend, and there'll be some exciting things coming up on the podcast. We're going to introduce a season, and the first season we're going to be doing is all about kitchens. Kitchen deep dive is, a lot more than just what are the materials going to be. It's really about making sure that kitchen works super hard for you, and coming up with ideas that you hadn't even envisaged. And we did that for a client this week too, in terms of turning one of their really deep cupboards into a step-in pantry. And so it gave them some options. It wasn't as clear cut as just having some cupboards. We actually came up with some other ideas for them. So that's going to be coming up on the podcast, having a kitchen season. And also shortly, I will be having some guests on the podcast as well, so that we can hear from other experts that make up that whole totality of really fantastic interior design. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.